Good morning and sliding in the afternoon. Judy Allen here in San Antonio, Texas. And it seems like I've been away forever, but it's only been a couple of weeks, right, for the holidays and spending time with family. I hope you had a nice holiday vacation. I know I did, even though it was crazy busy, right? It always seems that way. But today we're going to do some quick and easy gift packaging, right? Because we have Valentine's around the corner, and for those of you that get involved in Mardi Gras is like, what, 3 days after Valentine's Day, because it's the 17th of February. It's early this year, and we're actually doing a Mardi Gras bingo on January 22nd. If you're interested, I'll post the details. But today it's all about quick and easy, no matter what you're doing. I just focused on Valentine's because I know I have people I could give Valentine's to locally, and I give them gifts, and then I have people I mail packages off to, right? And in addition to that, today I'm dealing with technology. So there's one thing I thought of today is if you have somebody that needs to test out technology to make sure it works and they got all the little bugs and everything fixed out, I'm the person you most likely need to test it because I can find whatever will not work. I'm not going to tell you how I rigged things up today, so I had light. My techie's coming over today, and so she'll have to see what happened to my other light. So I had to rig something up today. You know, life's an adventure, and you just sort of have to go with it and laugh with it, right? So let's go down the hands and let's do this. So this is what I had put out there for you to show you what I did. I did this with my team last night. And this stamp set here is actually from the new paper pumpkin for this month here. And I was trying to think of the name of it. It's just watercolor and bloom. So actually that's the stamp set I used here and also here that says Dear Friend. So we're going to make this here. And we're going to make this one here. This is a diaper fold. And I didn't have the doves on there last night with my team. But I do have that here today. And I like doing the doves like this. And if you like them, this is actually on last chance. I like to be able to ruffle up the feathers there, right? You get a 3D look, and I'll do that. But the diaper fold I did a few weeks ago, and that link is out there, and I can surely post that link for you again later so you have access to that one. But these are the ones that we're going to focus on. So if you like these, then you're going to enjoy our winter retreat. If you haven't checked it out, now's the time to check it out. I'm going to put this aside, and I'm going to put this aside. We're going to make this one second. We're going to make the one you have to think about first. And I'm going to focus on that because this was an actual opportunity for creativity. The reason I got this post-it note here is I put a tape runner down the back of this, and I ended up not using it last night because it was the wrong way. Okay, and let me show you why. So when we cut this, we're going to take 4 by 12, and we're going to cut off the ends. And it's important that when we cut, we're going to cut from the scored line to the tip. And on this side, we're going to cut from the tip to the score line, so it's going to look like this. So the main thing is get how it's going to look, all right? Because some folks last night did it incorrectly and it won't work. And even I did this beforehand incorrectly because this is the correct way you want it to look when you cut your paper, depending on what you want to fold over. I wanted mine to fold over looking with this color, so I really wanted mine to fold over looking like this. But because I didn't think about that, well, I thought about it, but I thought you could just flip it. For whatever reason, it doesn't work, okay? So the main thing is as we're going to cut the paper here, we know that the end cut look has to look like this, all right? And so you need to think about when you fold it over, what do you want it to look like, all right? So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to hold this here so you can see what we need it to look like when we cut it. And this will be the inside, right? Because keep in mind, I'm going to fold this over. So if you want to look at this, I'll show you the original one. See how these are, if I put them together, see how those are cut the same angle? If I turn it like this here, they're cut the same angle. This is the angle you need them cut in. As you can see, when I had to go back and redo it, and that way I could get the colors I wanted when I folded it over, right? So this is going to flip-flap over. You get it? You think about that, right? So like doing anything else that we do, if you got to look at what you want your end result to look like, okay? So I'm just going to leave this here. And let me get the red out. So this cardstock, we're going to actually use 3 of the sheets of paper out of the new catalog. Reach over here and get this for you. So this is on page 31 out of the new spring catalog, right? So anyway, I'm not going to do all these hearts like this. I'm going to be using Be Mine, Be My Valentine, which is an annual catalog. We'll use this later, but not today. Not today. But I'm using the paper. So I just want you to know it is in the new catalog on page 31. And if you don't have a new catalog and you'd like one, just message me. And you'll just have to message me your address too, right? So that I can get one to you. Now here are the other 3 papers I'm not using, but we could have, but I didn't, because you can see I'm going to use a black rose in this one. So the person I'm making this for likes black, right? Period. Favorite color. So we're going to keep that in mind. All right, so let's do this. So we're going to take our cutting and paper trimmer here, and we're actually just going to come along here and score line, right? So this is 4 by 12. This is a great way to use your paper. Let's see if you can see this. Yes, I'm putting this on the 4-inch mark, and I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm going to just score the line, and we're going to do it on both sides, right? So if you don't want to flip it, it's 4 and 8, right? So that way it's you get 12. I haven't tried this yet, but I'm thinking if I wanted to make a smaller version, I was already doing the math of what it would require and take, right? So you could make a smaller version of this, but this is a nice size because the fact is you can put different things in it, right? So the one I just showed you that I made already, it's already going to be given away. And I already know it's going to be filled with chocolate because I have a very special friend to Peep, a dear friend that loves chocolate. All right, so here we go. So we wanted to make sure that when this folds over, right? So let's go back to what I was showing you a minute ago because we're going to have to cut this. So I had to think about what I want it to look like on the outside. So this is what I want it to look like on the outside. All right, so when these fold over, this is going to be on the inside. But this is what's going to be on the outside. All right, so it's sort of opposite of our way of thinking, right? Because we think we're going to cut just like this here. We're not. We're going to flip this over like this here. All right, I have to think about this too. Because this is the one I did wrong, right? Because this is the side I want to see, but yet I did it wrong, right? So this is the wrong one to see the color that I wanted. So I'm just flipping this over. This is going to be on the outside. So I'm going to take this score line here. So when it flaps over, right, it's going to look like that. All right, so I'm going to take this here, and I've got so I'm just butting the scored line up here and to the cutting line here. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better. Yes, you can make comments today. I don't know that I won't be able to see you and remark while I'm live, I don't think. Because I don't want to think too hard. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to do this right here. So we just want to take the point here. So we're going to go from the score line. Yeah, so I actually just cased this from the artisan design person. Put this out there for the directions. I actually put it out there for my team. And okay, I didn't get that little spot right there. So anyway, that's what we did for our team last night. We sat there and made quick and easy gift cards. All right, so I want to make sure when I come on this side here, my angles be the same way. Okay, so in order to do that, you can't see, like lots of times in the dark paper like that, I have issues seeing the line. So I'm going to make sure that, again, we're taking from the point here. And on this one, we're going to die cut up to the score line, right? So we can have the same angle and look that we have on the other side, all right? So here we go. So we got to turn these in. This is how this will look, okay? So here's one. All right, now let's do the next one. Yeah, I scored it already. Okay, just trying to fill the grooves, All right, so I'm going to put this right here on the wedge it right there. And I'm going to put the pointy end right there. Just so this is actually, I'm just lining up here on the cutting. Whatever reason, this one here. That's okay. Last night I just tore it off, but today I'll try to be a little bit better. And I'll just cut it off. There you go. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing down here. Alright, it actually takes more time to explain this than it is to truly do it. And you know what? And I already did this on the wrong side because this is the side I wanted to flip over, right? okay? And I was talking, and this is now what I'm going to get. It'll be okay. It's not what I wanted or envisioned, but it's okay. It's exactly, so note to self would be, is while you're doing it, maybe not talk at the same time, right? Okay, so that's what happens. Okay. So from there, it gets easier, right? Set that aside. Okay. So now all we're going to do is we're just going to line up the centers. So as you can see, this is they have to both go the same way. So this is going to go in here just like this. So this is going to be really red on the inside. That's okay. I've got a black rose that's going to go in the inside. I'm just having to put one on the outside or not. But anyway, so on this here, I'm going to just use, I thought I would just use tear and tape because that was going to be easier with the glue. So actually last night when I was doing this with my team, I actually just did a strip down the center, right? It doesn't mean you have to glue the whole thing down. I just did a strip down the center. But we already know what we're going to do here. So that's what I did last night, just to show that you could take it off and rearrange it and take a look at what you're doing, right? So we're just going to do this here. And then all we're going to do is take these score lines here. You can fold it up if you want to. It's just going to fit right in the center here, right? Just like this. So if you're not sure, you don't think you got it straight, that's all you got to do. It's going to fold up and flap just like this right there. Now we have two choices. Now if I can see you, I will definitely answer. I actually put two colors here, this one or this one. The only reason why I was looking at this one is because the rose, like I said, is black. And I've been sitting and looking at this rose for a long time. And here's what I did. So this is actually a new die set. It came with the catalog. And I marked the page. But I do have it to show you. So this is the new Beautifully Celebrated dies, which I thought would really go great with this. And here's the one here, Charming Day, is where I'm going to get the rose from. And then this is, I embossed the white here that I cut out with the dies to get this look right here. Here's my rose. This is a rose that's been hanging around for a couple of retreats. See, I'm just going to center it. So I have choices, right? I have the choice between this here. This is Secret C. And this is what it would look like on silver. Yes, I'm really, so this person, I'm not going to mention names, I could, is a person that likes things sort of on the dark side. So I'm just going to leave it, I think, right like that. And I think it's just going to make that pop that much more right there. She's not really into glittery stuff, but she's going to get some glitter. So Secret C is really not black, and it's not even a black tone. It's actually a Night of Navy. If you put Night of Navy next to this, it would look like they were there together from the blue families. But I don't have black glitter paper. I'm going to put that there. And this is just going to be flat, right? Because the fact is, this is going to be folded up with chocolate or something in with it. And a sentiment too. Now my sentiment, I was just going to sit there and put it to the side. And when you're doing this on glitter like this, you definitely need some glue. Or some 3D adhesive that's really going to help it stick to it. Because I've got this that's been embossed and it's raised up. And then I've got it on glitter. That can be a challenge from time to time. I was just going to do it flat. I could put it on a dimensional. But I'll show you what that looks like when you go and put it on a dimensional. And a regular dimensional. If not, I'll do a mini one. And it may be a mini. There, I do go through dimensionals. So let's put just so you can see, right? So this is New Year, right? So we'll refresh some things that we've talked about maybe moons ago. So if you're not sure, just lift it up and see, right? See how it's going to look for you, all right? So my goal wasn't to lift it up only because I knew it was going to be candy in here, but I could lift that up, right? So let's just lift up the top part of it. So we're just going to lift up the top part here. This is what we do. We're just going to put the dimensionals here. And then the lower part can be just down just like that. Okay? So let's do that. And then I'm actually just going to put a little glue down here because I just don't want it to get torn. So the thing is I did, because I was too busy working with the lighting and all, I did not get a rose die cut for the front of this, package. So I'm going to come back later and do that and show it to you. All right, so that's there on the inside. A lot of red going on there. This person most probably would like it. All right, then all we're doing with this here is we're just going to start folding, right? Now we're going to see how that's going to go with that rose, because this actually is going to come over like this here. And we're going to tuck it in just like that. So I'm just making sure which way I'm tucking it in. All right, so it's going to be tucked in just like this. Okay, so we're going to fold over, and it's going to come over, and we're going to tuck in. At first, I thought it was just going to tuck right there, but it won't work, right? It has to be tucked in this lower one. So think about when you put boxes together to store things and all, how you have to fold it and tuck something under, right? So that's what it looks like right here. Now what I brought in addition to that is I brought some ribbon, Secret C, as well as some tags to put around this. So yeah, so this is what I do sometimes. Actually, I've come up with a new method, but this is what I did last time. Because when I do paper shares and ribbon shares, I get the leftover stuff. And for me, I don't have to have mine nice and fancy and labeled. I make everybody else's fancy and labeled, but I don't do that for me. Because I just go through my ribbon. Alright, so we're just going to tie this around here and make a bow. And this is finished other than just putting a tag on it, right? It takes more time to explain it to you than it does to actually make it. So I'm just going to go ahead and come about it right there. If you want to know what I did there inch-wise, I'll move this here. So for the moment, let's see, I've got 13. So I got roughly 20 inches is what I've got right here that I'm working with. So what I did, I'm going to just do what I did last night. Because I really like it. I think it's a nice technique, is to take and make your bow. And then I just took some ribbon and some twine, baker's twine, right? We have those in colors. Everything from white to black to a gray, and looks like a very vanilla too. Alright, so I'm just going to take it just like this, and I'm going to make a bow. Yes, I got all dressed up for the holidays because we went to some plays, we went to some Christmas dinners. So I made sure to get my nails done, and it's different to have nails, right? Okay, so we got our bow. Might have to redo that a second, I don't like that. Right? So it's whatever you like. Try it this way. Yeah, so you have to tell me how your holidays was. I really didn't do a lot of creating during the holidays because it just wasn't right. When you get the tree up and everything else you get decorated, that's like pretty much the only thing we did was thank you cards. And I got to use my resources at thank you cards, and other people got to make theirs. I had some kits to make it easier, I should say, easier. Alright, so this is where we're going to do this right here. Now we're going to actually have a tag. So but I use the same that I used for the inside of the card. This is the smallest they have. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this here, and this is a smaller hole punch. I do have a bigger one, regular size, but I was going to use a smaller one because I can, right? If it's too small, I'll go back to the regular with single hole punch. Alright, just put that right in there. And I was just going to dangle this down. So I don't know if Happy Valentine's is going to make that on there, but let's see here. If it's too big, it might be. I wasn't sure when I did this. Oh yeah. So Happy Valentine's Day. So we're going to just put it at an angle, and we're going to sit there and do this in Poppy Parade. Poppy Parade is the color that... I was going to say the Poppy Parade. I used Poppy Parade. Oh, I know. So we could sit there. I know. I'm not going to tell you yet. In case I decide to do it. And if I don't decide to do it, then I won't. All right. You know what? I know she likes black, and I was gonna do that, but you know what? She's gonna get Poppy Parade. I'm sorry. That's just I don't know. I'll try it on both sides. Only problem is the thing is, lots of times I do things on both sides and it doesn't matter. Well, it does on this because the fact is I've got a hole punched through it, right? So it's going to be dangling, so I can't, I have to keep that in mind. So let's just go ahead and do it this way. Here's what it would look like if I did it in Poppy Parade. And then this, we'll do it in black so you can see what it would look in black. I wasn't going to do Secret C. I wanted black because her rose is black on the inside. Right? And you can do a sentiment on the same thing. I've got another deal that we can put a sentiment on if we wanted to. And this is what it would look like next to the paper if we did it in black. I mean, granted, the black would go with the ribbon, but I'm going to go with red. Because I can, right? So she can make her Valentine card any way she wants to. This is one I'm making for her. So it's a her, right? It's a her. All right, now I'm just going to put it right. I'm just going to put a little diagonal, right? Because the fact is it's going to be diagonal anyway. All right, because it's just going to come down here. So what is nice about this, right? I can put chocolate on the inside. You can put a gift card on the inside. Let me see if I have a gift card up here right now. I don't see one. But most definitely a gift card would work just fine here. And then I'm just going to take this twine here. And I even thought this would be sort of cute. But it won't really work, I don't think, with that. But I still think it would be cute, right? It's always about choices and options. So I'm going to go with this here. Let me see if I saw the white one from last night. I had a white roll. We were talking with it earlier, right? When you're always creating. And I did. I sat there and gave myself about... I really didn't need it, but I'm going with about 9 inches. 8 just seemed a little short last night when I went to tie it. So I'm going to do like I just did last night. So all I did is I came through here, right? So just think of this when you make this. It's a matter of when you make it, right? You're making. You're not sitting there talking to someone or else. You're in your do mode of making. And then that's not a big deal. Threading a needle here. It's just a hole. So yeah. Oop. Yeah, so how many Valentine cards do you send out and make? Because I already know. I'm counting grandkids and other peeps that I send out to. And then I also do them at the nursing home for the assisted living. Right? And then I also do them to my customers and team members. Nope. I shouldn't say that in case that was supposed to be a surprise for new members. But anyway, it's okay. It is. Okay, so I tried to. Alright, so that's all I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. I'm going to let it dangle just a little bit. And I'm just going to make a little bow up here. See, because this has so many colors with it, right? So even though this is a very vanilla look or a cream colored look, it's going to be okay because it matches with everything else. And we have our little Happy Valentine's Day here. And I even brought this here so we could do a little heart. So since I didn't do everything black for her, I'm going to actually use the Builder Bee Punch, which has hearts on it, right? Part of it's to build the bee, but the other part, right, you can do it wherever you want to do with it. So I'm just going to do a little black heart here. Alright, that's how easy it is to get a little black heart. And I'm just going to put it like right over here. And I don't care if it's on there, if it hangs off, right? I just want to give her her little black heart there, since she likes black. And we're going to put it right there. Okay? Yes, and you can put bling on here, right? I'm thinking right now that those rhinestones would look really nice on here, just the clear rhinestones. Alright, so that's just a quick and easy number 1, right? Chocolate, gift cards, everything in it. This next one we're going to make is like this here. So I'm thinking, you know, you got a significant other that maybe a ring could go in here, that would be nice, right? Okay, so we put that one aside. We're going to actually use this paper here. We have two choices again. One side is striped and one side is just like this. So it just depends on what you want to be on the outside, right? So we have to size this down a little bit because this dimension is going to be a 6 by 8.5. So let me write this one down here because this one's a little odd size. Since I was trying to think where I got this one from. So this is a 6 by 8.5. All right. And then on the long side, we're going to score it at 2, 4, 6, and 8. Okay. All right. So let's do that. Yeah, first size it down. So it's already at 6, right? Half a sheet of DSP. So this is already at 6. So I'm going to sit up here. Yeah, I didn't decide if I'm going to do stripes or the hearts. I was trying to think what this person would want, right? So sometimes that's not what we want, right? Sometimes we're creating and thinking of design and colors for the person we're creating for. So that's what I'm trying to do right now is think about that. Okay, so we got 6 inches. And we need to go to 8.5, just right there. And then we're going to take it and we're going to score it on the long side. This is the long side, and we're going to need the 8 inches. So I'm going to have to move this over a little bit and give myself a little bit more room. All right, so we're going to start here. We're going to go 2. So when you create something like this, right, it's leaving a 1/2 inch at the end, so you can actually form basically a square bag is what it's going to be, right? Let's see, 2, 4, 6. I haven't done that one yet. And the scoring tool, don't worry, it just pops back in. Okay, and 8. All right, and then on the other side, so it doesn't matter. Anyway you go, we got a lot going on the paper. The other side, we call the short side, this one here, we're going to score it at 2 inches. So this is basically, when we score it 2 inches, it's going to be the bottom of the bag. All right? So just FYI. And this is going to be the top. So we're just going to fold it in the scored lines. So that's how tall the bag's going to be, right? So we're at 6 inches, we're taking 2 off, so that's going to leave us with a 4-inch bag. Okay, just looks different because of the different colors, right, and the way the paper's designed. Okay, so from here, then, we're through with our tool. Put it aside. Hopefully I won't knock it over or anything. Okay, then we're going to fold. So I just fold on the scored lines. I always, whether it's a retreat, a class, whatever, I always like to score. Go ahead and get my scored lines so I can see what we're building and doing, right? And then here, you're going to see out of everything else, I got my 1/2 inch here so that I can seal this up. Now, you don't have to do anything fancy because this will fold just like that on this. So all we're going to do is we're going to put some adhesive right here on this 1/2 inch because everything else is scored, right? 2, 4, 6, 8 increments of 2. And that's deliberately, right? So we have 2-inch sides. All right, then we're just going to take this here. And we're going to fold it on that 4 scored line, and it's just going to fit perfectly, okay? That just makes it easy. Now the glue, you have to wait for it to dry a moment, right? And we're going to actually use the new pink ribbon with this too. So it doesn't matter to me which side, because the new pink ribbon will go well with either side. All right, so I'm filling for my scored line, which is right down here. All right, so all I'm going to do now is I'm going to take my scissors, and we're going to create some flaps. Okay, so we're just going to take on the scored line, this right here, and I'm going to cut up to the scored line, which is sort of hard to see, but it's there. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to take it, and I'm going to cut it up to the scored line. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's right there. Right there. Okay? All right, so there's one flap. So we're going to come around, just do it all the way around. So all you're doing is going on those lines, and we're going to cut to the scored line. Okay? Alright, so now we got our bottom flaps there. Okay. So now all we're going to do is start tucking them in, right? So we're going to tuck one in here, here, see how you like them, right? Because if you don't like it, you can just redo it, right? Okay, so I'm just going to put some glue to hold these down. You can use, I usually just use something that's 3D, right? Because I'm going to dump candy in here. You know, if I had a significant other that was going to give me a ring, or they wanted to give you a ring, right? Or I have a princess or someone that I wanted to give some kind of jewelry of some kind, I could easily put this in here, right? Okay, and this is the last one. Okay, so there we go. Now, sometimes as it's drying, I'll take a block, or in this particular case, I'll just take my glue and I'll stick it right there. Now, all that we're going to do to create this bag, so it's basically a square, right? So all we're going to do is we're just going to bend it in right like that, okay? I'm thinking that should be good now. All right, we're just going to take it and we're just going to, it does it really nice because it's in a square format, so it's not like you have to really work real hard at it. So actually, all I'm going to do is hold these together just like that. And actually, I'm going to use my regular single punch. And I'm just going to come down the center here. Right there. I'm just going to come to the center. Now, you do want to make sure everything's lined up, right? I had everything lined up, and I want to keep it lined up. And then I'm just going to punch what I believe is the center. I'm not measuring. I'm just eyeballing. Okay, there we go. All right. So now we have our ribbon, this pretty pink ribbon that just came out right here. It's pretty bubble bath. I was thinking it's pretty and pink. It's not. It's bubble bath. So actually, I need another thicker ribbon. All right, we're just going to use Secret C, even though I wasn't going to use Secret C. I just accidentally touched the lighting right there. I thought everything was going to fall down. So I actually, literally, my phone is actually holding a weight. It's being used as a weight to hold this light. It's a balancing act, right? It's a balancing act. So it's like, actually, I lifted my phone earlier, right before I went live, and the camera went over. I thought, oh my gosh. All right, now I did this longer than it needs to be. This really only needs to be about 4 inches long. But I just do it because sometimes when I go live, I just talk and I mess up. So all I'm going to do here now, so this is Secret C. This is the one that was in the annual catalog, and there's I think a sheer one that just came out as well too. And we're just going to take this pink here, and I'm going to use the same measurement as a while ago. I might go a little bit longer. And we're just going to tie a bow here. And we'll make this. So actually, this is really cool. I really enjoyed doing these here lately. I did it during the holidays and 12 days of Christmas. And you can staple that together if you want. I didn't. I just use the ribbon here. And I just come and trim afterwards, right? Now, I will tell you, I have been known to take my ribbon right here and tie it and turn around and make a knot out of it, just so it didn't keep on slipping out. That's just what I do sometimes, and I'm going to do that today. Alright, so just hold it together. Now you can say, how am I going to put something in there? Well, all you got to do, and actually my husband showed me this over the other day. I was trying to think if it was the holidays or after the holidays, but it didn't matter. He actually just slipped it off, right? He just slid it off. I'm thinking, man, I would have been untying this and doing everything in the world, but you can untie it. And so there we go. We're going to have this coming down just like this right here with our black ribbon. We're going to trim it off. And I just did it both at an angle, right? I just made one a little bit higher than the other because I could. And then I'm going to trim this off here. And then we're just going to put a tag on here, right? So I'm going to use the same thing here. Originally, I thought maybe it'd be pretty cool to dangle some hearts down here, which it would be, right? So let's do this right here. Let's make it simple, though. So I have some circles, and I have some leftovers. This one's too big. Let's see what I have left over here. I always have leftovers. That's going to fit. So that'd be pretty good. Yeah. just going to tone that down just a little bit by putting this on here. So yes, this is some flowers I stamped out and I colored them. Let's see if I watercolored them. Nope, I used Stampin' Blends because the fact you can see the color coming through. If I used watercolor, you wouldn't be able to see that coming through. So yeah, I'm just going to soften this color up here because to me it's a lot of red going on. The person I'm going to, I'm not sure if they'll fully appreciate all that red or not, but alright, so I can actually do the same thing here. I could tie this, but I'm not. I'm just going to put this down here and let's put a sentiment on here. So, see, you can use a circle, you can do anything you want. You know what? I'm going to use Charming Day. Let's see if this is going to fit. You made my day. Here's what I want. Thanks for being you. Right? It's going to need a Valentine's, right? It can be I love you. I'm looking at my other stuff over here. If it fits, yeah, it'll fit right there. Okay, so we can do that. I could have, right, we have choices. Again, going back to using this here. This one's actually on Last Chance. This one isn't in the annual catalog. So I could have actually done Love You. I could have done You Make My Heart Buzz, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and thanks for being you, right? It's Valentine's. I want somebody to thank me for being me. Okay, so let's do it. Let's get this on here, get it stamped, and we're done, right? So I'm just going to stick with... I'm not going black on this one. You know what? Let's go black. I'll change my mind. Because the fact that it's got so much red, right? I can do black. So the other thing I thought, you know, I had a long stem black rose. That definitely would be another option, right? I could have done the long stem black rose on the front of this bag. I could also make a smaller rose. So that same kit, I'll show you. You can make a smaller rose. Set that aside. So let me show you. So actually you have smaller rose images here that I could have used, right? So let's see if I had our options here just to show you, right? Because it's all about choices and options. I'm not sure I'm doing good on time. Okay, good. So see the different roses and they come out so detailed. So just like you saw on the red one on the inside how detailed it was, this one comes out very detailed as well. Or I could have just used this one again, right, and put it up here, and I could have just trimmed it off, and I've done that too, right? So it's just whatever you want, but I always like options, right, and choices. So that's what today is. It's quick and simple, quick and easy packaging, and I'm just going to put this right there. Thanks for being you. And add just a little flowers there, right? And I'm going to actually use the glue, and we're just going to glue it on there. I'm just going to do the center. Right, I'm okay with it just being up around the edges. And I'm just going to put that right here. And that's just a circle punch. That's all I used right there for this circle here is a circle punch. Let me hold this here a second. Get this here. So if you want to know the size of the circle punch, this is a 2-inch circle punch is what I use. Alright, so there you go. And because it's glue, right, you can just keep on maneuvering it around until you get it just like you want it. But there you go, quick and easy. Quick and easy. So we have this one here. Here's the other one. If you wanted to put a heart on here, you can too. You can put a black heart. If I did it, I'm going to try to do a black heart to go with this there. But I just have it right there. Thanks for being you, and happy Valentine's Day. So there you go. So I hope you enjoyed it, right? Because again, it's just quick and easy. And this is what I did. I took a page from my husband's book. I just slide it off, right? So I didn't mess up the bow. And you over here. Let's do this. We didn't do something right here. I did bring some paper for that. Let's do it. As I'm thinking about that, we didn't do a tag for the inside of this, but I had one cut. So let's see where that one's at. We didn't use it. Okay, so the other one I had cut is I took the Stylish Shape dies and I set it there and just cut it off shortly. When I die cut it, I just did it where it die cut off. You can see right there where I die cut it off and I had it hanging over, so wouldn't have to worry about that. And that's the one I was going to use. and it's white, right? So it's going to blend in with everything. Okay, I'm not sure where I dumped it out. Okay, so, but anyway, we're going to put a white tag here. So we'll use a different white tag if we have to just even, oh, here's a bigger one. I'm not sure what happened to the one I did half size, but let's see if we can fit right here to put right here. See, because I didn't see because how big this is, that was the concern I have, that's why I didn't use it. Let's see what else we have here that I can substitute since I don't see the one I die cut out. Okay, let's just do that then. Let me go ahead and we'll stamp something. We did the outside here, I did it in red, so I'm going to do red in here as well. I'm looking to see what I do with that. I do not know. You know, white on white just happens, right? Oh, I found it. I found it. It fell. That's why I couldn't find it. Okay. Ooh, here we go. Let's do Be Mine. Be Mine. All right. So the nice thing about this, and the reason why I did this right, is I could easily make this shorter if I needed to make it shorter. So that's what that was all about. So we're going to go ahead and put that on here. And I am going to do this one in red, right, because we've got all the red right here. And we have the black right here. So I wasn't going to do the black, right? So, but you can see from here, you can see a little bit of that blue than you could from the black. Okay, we're just going to do this right here. All right, just a nice sentiment. Nice sentiment. This person's significant other took her on a surprise date night the other night. So it's like, oh yeah. So right, we can do this right here. I'm just going to trim it off just a little bit. Not much. Just a little bit. Okay. And we're just, now this one I'm going to put up on a dimensional, but I'm just going to use a small dimensional, okay? Okay, I've used up that one. I don't want to use one of the ends. I just want to use one of these little ones right here. And get us here. Be Mine. So if you didn't want that extra E in there for B, just do masking, right? Just stamp the B first, then the mine, and it wouldn't really matter, right? So this will fit just nicely right here. And I'll still be able to tuck it in. All right. So we're gonna fold our stuff up again. Right. And if it doesn't work the way you want it to work, then just fine. Just you start with one of the other ones. Right. You just want to keep on moving right when you do it. Okay. So I sat there and took that out. I can stuff my stuff in here. And the nice thing is I found out from my husband's the other day, is just slide it back in. If it doesn't want to slide right back easy for you. Sometimes mine does and sometimes doesn't. I just flexed it a little, right? I just flexed it a little, not a lot. You see how I just flexed that just a little, just bent it. It's paper. All right? And there you go. So that's how easy it is to make. Slide it back in place in case you forgot to put something in there. In this particular case, I haven't put anything in there yet, but it's ready to go. So there we go. There's our quick and easy. So I hope you enjoyed that, right? It's all about creating, sharing, and giving. So we made it through the holidays. There's a lot of giving through the holidays, right? And now, new year, and things continue on. So there's many opportunities to go out there, create, share, and give, and make a difference in someone else's life. So go out there and do that. And I want to thank you for supporting us not only here, but also on YouTube and Instagram. Miss Zoe has been posting photos on Instagram. She's been a young lady on a mission. So there you go. Be blessed. Have an amazing week. I look forward to seeing you next week when we create some more Valentine cards. All right. Bye.